Youngboy living like a king. He got multiple checkpoints. He got a small militia garden. He lives on a mountain, literally. I used to say that nigga talking about Gravedigger Mountain. That nigga probably live on a molehill. No, that's an actual mountain. You know how I could tell? When I pulled up to the gates at the very bottom, by the time we drive, supposedly it's about like 6,000 feet up in the air. When we get up there, nigga, it's a blizzard. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a different temperature at his house than the gate. I promise you. You would think it's Pablo Escobar up on that damn mountain. Mansion big as a motherfucker. This nigga got everything in the world. Nigga threw me the keys. Yo, could you move my girl Bentley back there? Move my G-Wagon in there and maybe I'm like, oh, goddamn. I went up in there. There's all type of car. I'm like, holy. I see some shit pull up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Nigga, it looked like a tank. Something out of Iraq, except it's some snow shit. It's just like crawling. It has the fucking, you know when you see tanks and it has that little, the wheel thing? It's like a little turn belt. Like, what the fuck is this? I'm seeing him doing donuts. I'm like, what the hell? I said, what the hell is this shit? See, this is some other shit. I said, what? I said, this is legal? See, for YB, it's legal. Yeah. When you've made $100 million, and yes, it is reported, NbaYoungboy made $100 million in 2023. What y'all think house arrest look like for $100 million nigga? Huh? I won't say nothing. What y'all think it look like? So I'm over here like, oh, you know me, I'm pocket watching. What the fuck? How much this shit cost? Nigga said, this is 1.2. I see YB going to test drive. He come back. He said, I'm taking it. What? Man, $100 million. Who gives a fuck? 1.2? What? Only thing that could even remind you that maybe this nigga isn't as free as he seems. It's only a little ankle monitor, but there ain't no thing. Man, that shit going crazy. I'm there saying, house arrest a hell of a thing. They grant him house arrest on what's called Gravedigger Mountain in Utah. So he basically gets like this $10-15 million house. He tells the judge, I'm going to pay $2.4 million a month for like around the clock security, trained per people. And, you know, obviously he's still going to have his ankle monitor on. He also picked a house where the probation officer was going to be even close by there. It's kind of shocking that he would even need a gun up in Utah. I've been there. I'm telling you, they have a small army guard in the nigga. Multiple shifts, checkpoints, all type of shit. They were treating the shit like it was almost like a maximum security jail. Like, to keep it real, Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania didn't have better people protecting him than Youngboy has 24 hours a day. Like, I'm going up there, these niggas got silencers, they got snipers. Like, these niggas was planning for some other shit. But I'm guessing when you got the money, you could just pay niggas just to be a small army. Now, why wouldn't he beat the case? If you guys don't remember the initial case that he was charged with, the initial case was that him and about like 20 other guys were on a block shooting a music video. Somebody saw through a window, like, who are these hoodlums? They got a bunch of guns. They called the police, and the police pulled up and apprehended the majority of these guys. While doing their investigation, they found out that there was proof that Youngboy did indeed have something that looked like a weapon in his hand. The weapon in his hand, at first, his lawyers were saying, nah, that's airsoft gun. That's not no real gun. What the hell? It was deemed also by firearm experts that was a real gun. Youngboy's lawyer goes into panic mode, but they find an out. Well, you can't use the evidence from the SD card. The call that y'all got to pull up wasn't to go look through SD card. It was to find guns, rely on the eyewitnesses, and that didn't work. By the way, a bunch of other people took credit for the other guns, so his homies tried to do what they were, supposed to do. Youngboy was about to be scotch-free. Now what happens? They arrest him in California. He's driving a Maybach. There's another gun in the Maybach. He goes on a high-speed chase. He hops out the car, bolts it. I heard he's running like Noah Lyles on 100 meters. Hopping over a fence like the hurdles. He's jumping through bushes, backflipping. The nigga doing like parkour. Crazy shit. He goes to hide somewhere. They send the canine. Yo, the police be doing niggas bad. The canine is chomping through your flesh, chewing on your bone. And the police is shouting at, don't fucking move! Put your fucking hands up! You're like, oh my God. You're like, the dog is biting through your hand. They send the dog on Youngboy. They take him into custody. He beats the first case. The first case that I said he beat, the reason why he beat it, they couldn't prove that the Maybach was only occupied by him and that maybe somebody else did not have a weapon in the car. That was his whole thing. Hey, listen, I never knew that there was a glove compartment. I was just driving. Yeah, I did flee in a lewd, but that wasn't what the cops were trying to get him on. When they searched the car, they found it. I just want to say on the record, I don't believe none of this shit. I believe Youngboy is a victim of the system. But they claim that he was having numerous pharmacies, sometimes up to 4 to 5, give him pills that allegedly he was running through in a couple of days. And it turned into be a big drug ring. How did they find out? The pharmacy at times would be confused. They would say, well, the date of birth don't match. And at one point, they figured out that one of the patients, the last name was wrong, the first name was right, the birthday was right, but the last name was wrong. And one of them, they figured out, was like, yo, you're supposed to be 60, but the person picking it up is 20. And then they figured it was a couple things going on. Now, I think they lying on YB too. I ain't gonna lie. Yup. They don't want to see a black man win. Y'all know how hard it is to be on house arrest? $50 million mansion, $10 million cars outside, 20 rooms, kids running around, baby mama chilling there, musicians making music all day. Come on, man. That's just hard. So the plea deal he took, he's going to plead guilty to having a firearm. The crazy thing is he spent about like 2 years fighting this on house arrest. We had heard that the trial for this was going to be in July. Obviously, July came and went. We're now in August. Apparently got pushed back again. And now we're seeing a declaration, and I'll post this up. You know, he signed this declaration here. It says, I, Kentrell Golden, who's the defendant, has been informed that a felony indictment is pending against me in the above designated case. I wish to plead guilty. Now, this is coming from his Louisiana case that, you know, he eventually got bond on. He went to Utah. He was allowed to be there. He beat the case that he had in California, but he had this one case left. I believe that, I don't know if maybe one of his lawyers has talked to him or talked some sense into him, even though, you know, this could have probably been done before. You have so many legal situations mounting. There's zero chance you're going to walk out of here. There's zero chance you're just going to be free. Anyway, I say all that to say, I think he's going to do about 3 to 5 years. I can't imagine more. There's a limit on 10. I think he's going to try to resolve both cases. I know one's federal and one's state, and sometimes they don't like when you serve time for both simultaneously, but I think it's going to be some type of deal if they could finesse it where he does federal, then goes immediately to state. But what do I believe is going to happen? Overall, is going to be 5 years or so. 5, maybe 6. If we look at Youngboy's age, he's 24. Unfortunately, if he comes out in 6 years, he'll just be 30. So it's just one of those things where he's just in a tough pickle right now. He hasn't had his freedom for a while. He hasn't, you know, trust me, you guys just don't know the struggle of you know, making $100 million and then being in a house that it's worth a lot with a lot of people, you know, who's serving you, but you have an ankle monitor so you can't leave the house. Like, what's the point of having a Rolls Royce but you can't drive it too far? Like, come on now. This is anxiety. It's a lot of stuff. I spoke with Youngboy. I want to let you know he's in very good spirits. Way better spirits than I thought he would be in. And I guess this is the first topic, I guess, in terms of explaining how I got this song. Spoke with him. He's in good spirits. I'm over here like, bro, are you good? Like, dog, yo, this shit looks fucked up. Like, bro, I don't know what's going to happen. Are you okay? Like, bro, because, you know, the last time I seen him was on house arrest. I'm like, you know, I'm like, damn, you know, we were supposed to get back up, but we didn't get back up, and now he's locked up. He's still acting. It's all good. And he did say one thing that was important to me, and I hope he means it, right? I hope he means it. I hope he's not taking it for granted or saying it because he's in the position he's in. He said, he said, it's all good, man. He said, this is going to be the last time I'm in here. And I respect that, and I'm hoping that's his mentality, right? You know, it's a very humbling, you know, situation where you go from living in a $7 million mansion with all the amenities at your disposal to now being in county jail, right? So I hope that is going to be his attitude, and I hope that's what's going to happen. Now, Youngboy right now is fielding a lot of offers for tour. Y'all on the Pocket Watch? You know, I love the Pocket Watch. Between 30 and 40 cities. These promoters are offering him between 500 and 600,000. That was a while ago, though. The price would have only went up. So I think maybe closer to 600,000 probably now. So if you do the math, let's say he does 30 dates, that would be $15 million. And yes, these would be arenas. So whenever Youngboy comes out, the offers for him right now is around the range of 500 to 600,000, and they expect that when he announces that tour, it would be an arena tour. They believe all that jokes about his fans only be watching him on YouTube. They're gonna watch him in a goddamn stadium because they're definitely gonna pay to come out to see Youngboy. Obviously, they're gonna have to work that out with probation, how that's gonna be able to handled, because there's stipulations about him not being around certain people, this and third, and they'll figure it out some way, even if he has to have U.S. Marshals. I'm going to give you some tea here, so for the people who care, might be interested in new information for you. Allegedly, Youngboy made last year $100 million. So if you ask my man OG3, right, which is a guy, when I was there, he was like, yo, we call him 100 mil out the garage. So basically in 2023, I think that's last year, he made $100 million just making videos in his garage, which is kind of like astonishing. Now, you might think that's crazy. You might think that's wild. From what I hear, and this is not from them, but this is from my breakdown, how does somebody make $100 million on house arrest? Here's a breakdown. Apparently, he sold part of the catalog that he owned for about like 30, 35 million. He signed another contract worth about 30 to 40 million with Capital. And then a lot of, he did a few other deals. I won't talk about those. And then there was royalty also from his from his recordings that he already had. And, he's been a profitable artist because he's one of those people, despite the fact that, he's one of the biggest artists in the game. He doesn't have really much of a, overhead, right? So apparently it was $100 million a year for him. Crazy, right? Now,